Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. Good morning. My name is Calvin Smith, and welcome to Happy Marriage Pact. And today I wanted to give you a little bit of a conversation on the area of maturity in your relationship. Why is it important to have maturity in your relationship? It's important for a number of different reasons, and I believe that some of the insights that I share with you today are meant to really build, to really strengthen, to really encourage your position when it comes to your maturity in your relationship. I mean, it's like, really the real question, I guess, is, are you morally fit in your relationship? And the reason why I ask that question is because sometimes, we have this image of what relationship is in our mind. We think about relationship as being this awesome thing, this thing where, the prince saves the princess and they get married and they ride off into the sunset and then they live happily ever after. And you never hear about the ins and outs and the things that happen in the midst of living life and creating that happily ever after. And I believe that creating that happily ever after can really happen when two people are morally fit with one another. That means that they are practicing the things that make for maturity. It's not one person making the changes and the other person just waiting, by to see what the other person is going to do. But it's both people actively working together towards making that change that makes this thing happen. So that question, are you morally fit? One thing's for sure. You have to be of sound moral character before two solid people will want to deal with you. It's like if you don't have that if you're not solid, how can you expect for someone who is solid to want to deal with you? It's like, you can't expect the creme de la creme and then you are only given the stuff that's at the bottom of the barrel after everybody doesn't really want it. I mean, it's like, you have to exude what it is that you want from someone else. Your choices build bridges or burn them. It is your choices that make the difference and are the factor in what happens. Kind of like the difference between a thermostat and a thermometer. A thermometer may be able to read the environment, but a thermostat sets the environment. And if you think of yourself as a thermostat where you set the environment, then what you'll be able to see is that, wait a minute, some of these situations can be avoided by how I set the climate rather than how I am influenced by the climate. So your choices build bridges or burn them. Changes in your mentality change spheres and range of influences. If you don't have those changes in mentality, and guess what? These adjustments are required, regularly. It's important that you regularly adjust your thermostat. It's like, because sometimes it gets too hot outside. So when it gets too hot outside, then, you have to go to your dial on your thermostat and you have to set it a little bit cooler because it's too hot outside. So you want to set it a little bit cooler so that there won't be so much heat in your home. And then likewise, if it's a little, if it's a little cooler outside, then maybe you want a little heat to just kind of warm things up a little bit, because you're a thermostat. You're not a thermometer. That's what you want to be, is a thermostat, not a thermometer. And that guys, when you have two people that are dealing with two different things at two different times, sometimes it can be very, very challenging to try to mirror somebody, but at the same time, you're trying to be relational with them, because not everything is about mirroring, and that's another topic. I'll talk to you about it at another time, or perhaps you might want to come in and to get some online counseling, because I'm doing online counseling because of all of the things with the pandemic and everything. But it's like, listen, it's like there are concepts that can help you, that can encourage you, that can empower you in the way you relate in your relationship. And I believe that this is one of them. Are you morally fit? What you do, the choices that you make, the actions that you take, they build bridges or burn them. So having that gravity in how you are making choices and how you are applying yourself in context, and being able to read the context, and then being able to be what you need to be in that moment for that situation, is very important. So it's never too late to start. You might feel like, wow, well, I blew that one. I mean, it's like there is just no real chance of saving that situation, because I have just burned this thing to the ground, and I have been a thermometer, not a thermostat, all of this time. Well, you know what? There is still an opportunity for change for you. There still is an opportunity for growth for you. That means not only being responsible with others, but it's also important to be responsible with yourself. And, if you realize that you've been losing your voice where you should have a voice, or where you've been kind of insisting on your voice, where maybe you should be retracting a little bit and giving somebody else a voice. Well, both of these insights, your ability to do these things, demonstrate your level of relationship fitness, your relational fitness. And what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to be in the moment with the person at the extent that relationship, that relating is needed in order for you both to move through past something that is hard into something that is a little bit better for you both. And it's never too late. Sometimes a person forgets, they get so immersed with trying to please somebody else that they forget to love themselves. And, it's like, the word says, love your neighbor as yourself. So that means that, it is important to take time for you. It isn't important to invest in your peace, but it is also important for you to understand and know that how you treat others will impact you, right? So are you morally fit? Are you of sound moral character? Because remember, solid people require solid people. They want solid people to deal with. It's like, if you want this in your life, if you want a solid person in your life, then you have to practice being a solid person to others, not just a person that just kind of gets by, while you want that person to just function on excellence, peer excellence 24/7. Okay. So in doing that, sometimes there is a process of learning. You have to learn how to be who you are in the relationship, to be that solid person. And then you also have to be able to identify what is solid in someone else, and then take the steps towards, just really negotiating the relationship in context of the different climates that you're experiencing in it. Listen, I hope that this has been a blessing to you. This is one of the things that I put out there. I said, like, this is, I use this sometimes and everything, and this is like a big bottle. And, I like to use this and to think of things in context of like currency. When two people are learning how to relate to one another, sometimes they may not necessarily understand the language that each other is giving. And it is a beginning place. It is a place of process where you're learning the language of each other. And as you're learning that language of each other, you begin to grow in understanding. And then what was once hard for you becomes more doable. You can do it. You can achieve excellence better, and or effective communication better, and you can really be empowered and empowering to your partner by understanding their language. And that's part of the reason why we have the classes. That's why we have the counseling sessions. That's why we have these points of encounter to help you to grow and to connect with one another. Because it's really not about the going and the doing. It's about what you're getting out of it that makes a difference in each other's lives. And that requires that there be some commitment to change, to evaluation, to honesty within yourself in order to do that. Not everything is about running away, ducking and dodging, or moving to the next person, or whatever that the idea may be. Sometimes it's about that good old fashioned come to Jesus moment where you say, Lord, help me to be honest with myself so that I can be honest with you and honest with others, and then I can move and offer my best self and create the healthiest relationship possible. Listen, this is Calvin Smith with a relationship moment at Happy Marriage Pact. I hope that this blesses you. You're encouraged. Please feel free to set an appointment if you'd like some more personal counseling on these issues. And also look for my online classes and trainings that I also have available on my website, happymarriagepact.com. God bless you, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.